My name is Russ Shaw. I'm the founder of Tech London Advocates.
I'm Sherry Coutu, and I'm the author of the Scale Up Report.
Gerard Grech, CEO of Tech City UK.
Fantastic. Well, thank you all very much for joining me. I know you've just come off the stage at Guildhall talking about London and the UK and the importance of Fintech in our country. So should we just start by talking about why London and how we actually, whether we should and how we do remain a global leader in this space?
London has such great DNA, I describe it, great financial services sector, great technology that's emerging, so many other great and vibrant sectors. And it's the talent that we see here coming together that is creating that fintech sector. The money is now starting to follow that. So there's some really encouraging signs and signals that London will be a world leader in fintech. I was in New York last month with Gerard. We were part of the mayor's trade mission to New York and Boston, and the buzz about London and fintech and what's happening here is quite amazing.
And who's chipping at our heels?
Well, the whole it's a global industry.
Yeah.
And we're talking fintech now. I've been in financial services in London for 30 years, and there is a very rich basis of talent, knowledge that we can build upon. And rather than just serving the UK, we really should have global ambitions so that we serve the entire globe. And anybody who's anyone should think, if I'm a fintech business, I have to go to London because my business will thrive there better than anywhere else on the planet. And that is a true statement because of what we're building on and how committed the government and the ecosystem is here to making that happen. So we're just poised. It's fantastic, and we've got all to win.
Yeah. So I couldn't agree more. So I think when you look at the financial services industry, it's clearly evolving. London has always, for a long time, been the capital of the financial services sector in the world. You've got critical mass of expertise in financial services, but you've now got critical mass of expertise in software development, in tech and technology in general. And clearly you're seeing the crossover of the two coming together, which is why there's no excuse for London not to be the digital capital or the fintech capital of the world. So clearly language helps, clearly geography helps, but you are seeing definitely critical masses of expertise in the various capabilities that you need in order to excel in fintech. So cybersecurity, payment infrastructure, data science, software development. These are not only just in London, but right across the UK, from Edinburgh to Leeds to Bristol.
Is there still a job to do, though, to encourage more people to enter this sector, be it technology, but also the financial sector? Do we have a job to encourage young people to
Sure, absolutely.
be excited?
So last year alone, there were, according to Adzuna, there were 1 million digital jobs advertised in the UK alone. At this point in time, this current month, there are over 45,000 digital jobs open. So clearly, the industry is moving at such a pace that we need to see a lot more people joining this revolution that's going on. And clearly, the management of money by consumers and by businesses is certainly evolving very quickly because of technology. So, and with that brings on new skills and new jobs that were not even available or didn't even exist 10 years ago. So clearly, we need to continue encouraging people to join this industry.
I have a slightly different take on it. I think if I were a child, either in school or university, thinking about where could I go to have the biggest impact, and what would I need to do, where would I want to be? Financial services is amazing. You look at the companies like Osper, who are completely revolutionizing how children learn about money and responsibility, and also empowering the parents to get involved with teaching their kids about allowances and spending online and protecting themselves. You look at the Funding Circle, which is a fabulous company that is releasing what doing what the large incumbents haven't been able to do for a very long time, and thereby improving the lives of hundreds of thousands of small growing businesses for the first time. So there are these gaps, and they've been underserved, and they're being filled. Do Dill, we were just talking about, who actually published this book, and I think was the underlying data for your book as well. They've taken data from all of the companies and allowed us to see what's really happening in a highly visual way, taking data for 20, 30 years and painting a picture. So suddenly we can see why is that important, and that empowers and changes for the good millions of people's lives. And so it's not that's where the jobs are, it's if I want to have impact and I'm ambitious and I want to see what I'm going to do with the world, I want to be there, because the opportunity to build a business in that area is phenomenal. And there's not a lot of other sectors where it's as ripe or the ecosystem is as perfect as fintech.
I think fintech is making financial services sexy. I mean, I spent the first half of my career in consumer financial services. I remember sitting in focus groups talking to people about credit cards and banks and insurance companies, and people would just go to sleep. And now if you look at the companies, Sherry mentioned some of them, and you look at companies like TransferWise and World Remit, it's an incredibly exciting and sexy place for people to go and work. And I think the more we can push that message out, and coming back to your original question, I still think we have a huge job to do to encourage people to look at technology, to look at financial services, to look at fintech, but to say, actually, this is a world-leading sector that we're building here. The jobs that you're going to go into are very exciting, very interesting, and very groundbreaking. So take another look at that whole space. It's really, really the place to be.
And the realization that fintech does not mean accountancy software. I think it's so much more. Right?
Exactly.
So.
And what role can Innovate Finance and organisations like Innovate Finance do to encourage that?
You're doing it today. You're using your convening power to bring together the different parties in the ecosystem. So you've got advisors here, you've got bankers, you've got entrepreneurs, you've got techie people. It's by bringing us together in a room, despite the fact that we're in a virtual world, it's bringing us together so that we can get up, up front and personal, where we can, find someone that we want to run that next business with and hire that person because you've been dying to find that product, that product developer, data scientist, and you're going to run into them here because people are open here to exploring new opportunities, and that's the collaboration and the coordination is key. And you are also celebrating our successes, which we don't do as often as we should here, and that's really important.
And I think with somebody like Claire, you have a terrific leader who's passionate, inspiring, very enthusiastic about this whole section of the market that is just brilliant to see. And hearing her remarks this morning, I know she's going to wrap up in a few minutes. I mean, she is really bringing all of us together to say, hey, this is something that's going to be world beating. Let's get on board.
Okay. And talking about making it modern and sexing it up, great to see a woman at the top of this organisation.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Absolutely.
Yesterday was International Women's Day, so it's great.
It was.
So many women here today.
And I love the booklet that we all picked up, which is all about all the women in fintech.
Yeah.
So showcasing people like Sherry and Claire and many others who are here today.
No, it's
fantastic.
fantastic.
And obviously Innovate Finance is a great champion of this.
Yes.
And we need this. And there's nothing stopping Innovate Finance in this particular conference being as big as Mobile World Congress in a few years' time.
Yeah? Oh, heaven forbid. Oh my goodness.
70,000 people. We need it. Why not?
There's the O2, there's the Excel Center. Right. We can bring them in all over London.
So tell us about this booklet you're clutching that you sold to the audience.
Well, it's just to basically remind people that this is available in their goodie bag, but essentially it's the most comprehensive guide available right now on the 21 clusters that we've showcased right across the UK. And what we did was we did big data crunching with the likes of Doodle and Career Builder, but we've also complemented that with very much bottom-up qualitative analysis with 2,500 surveys filled in by businesses right across the UK, and gave us a very good understanding of the capabilities that are emerging. So which cities are over-indexing in different capabilities that are required to power the digital economy.
Great. So we've all
you can't say that and not
sorry. I'm not used to the props.
This is hot off the presses. This morning, published by the London Stock Exchange, is Britain's 1,000 companies to inspire. Not just with a wider than tech. It also goes on science and manufacturing and even food industry seems to be the fastest growing industry, amazingly, in the UK. So again, this is just another highlight. It does a deep profile of 50 really fast growing companies, but it takes all 1,000. And what we expect is, this is the second time we published it. Last time it was published, it became the reference guide. So if you're up in Sheffield or Manchester or Liverpool, you'll go here and you'll say, okay, I know there's 1,000 in the UK. Where am I in Liverpool? And I want to just make sure that I know every single one of them. And if I'm the government, I want to know what I can do to help them. If I'm a school, I want to invite them in to talk to my kids about the jobs they're creating. And if I'm a university, I want to make sure that I've got a really flexible leadership course so that they don't have to trek down to London or somewhere else to learn how to grow their company really fast. So this is slightly hotter off the presses than yours, and it's slightly wider than tech, but it's also highlighting the things that we really should take pause to celebrate around here, because we've got a lot to celebrate about. Still a long way to go, but what a great jumping off place.
Lovely. What a really lovely, inspiring way to end. Thank you so much, Russ, Sherry, Gerard. Thank you very much for your time.